Okay, you guys, welcome back. Oh, I'm so excited. We will hang out for a few minutes, let everybody get on here, and I will introduce my guest, not just my guest, but my friend. So I can't wait to tell you guys more. We'll just get going here in a little bit. I'm so excited. It's a beautiful day here in North Carolina anyway, but this is my favorite time of the week. I get to hang out with all my cats and coffee friends. And so this week I brought a friend. I always get to talk to somebody amazing every week. And sometimes I'm making new friends, but this week I'm bringing friends. So Tabitha Kucera, welcome.
Hi, I'm so glad to be here. And it's sunny where I live too. Thank goodness for the sun right now.
Yes, yes. Where do you live? Where am I talking to you from?
Oh, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio.
Ohio. I love everyone I've ever met from Ohio. Hey, Christina. Ohio is a beautiful place this time of year too. I think it's just a beautiful time of year places, right? Like it's spring. So we are getting sunshiny, and I think our kitties are getting more active, right? There's more daylight hours, and I know there's more birds and butterflies outside my windows. I've noticed a lot more chirp and chattering, which is important. We're going to talk a little more about chirps and chatter in a bit. Mm-hmm. Hey, Pri, thanks for coming. We'll give you guys just a couple more minutes to get on here so I can get everybody introduced to my friend, Tabitha Kucera. It's funny, Tabitha and I have been friends now for, how long have I known you now?
It's
3, 4?
A few years, 3 years? That can't be right.
3 or 4 years, I feel like now. Time flies, it could be 10, but I feel like it's been 3 or 4 years now. We've been actually speaking together, traveling together. We eat avocado toast together when we can. I think it's the last thing we did. So I'm excited to have this conversation with you. You're one of my favorite people to talk about when it comes to who do I have come speak for cats? What's up in cats? I'm always like, let's check in with Tabitha. So Tabitha, you're a registered vet tech like myself, but tell us more about you, what you do, and what chirps and chatter is all about.
Awesome. So I'm a registered vet tech like Becky. I'm also a certified cat behavior consultant and a Care and Prior Academy certified training partner. And I'm also fear-free and low-stress handling certified. So not only do I want to help your kitties with their behavior issues in the home, but we want to make vet visits less stressful and even happy for your cats, which you totally can do, which we can talk about in another time. So I own a cat and dog behavior consulting business named Chirps and Chatter. The beautiful website is below. And I offer behavior consulting services to people who are having issues with their animals, but also preventative care. So I offer kitten kindergarten, puppy socialization, things like that. And then I also educate others through writing for a variety of outlets, from The Spruce to Martha Stewart. And then I lecture about all things cats, which is my favorite. And today we're going to talk all about senior cats.
Senior cats. So for my regular watchers out there, the folks that know me, I have a fiercely private kitty named Boo Boo Kitty. She made a short appearance this week for National Pet Day. Did you celebrate?
I didn't really do much. I know. I'm the
worst.
It's
National Pet Day every day for us, right? I mean, like,
yes.
That's the cool thing about our lives, is every day is National Pet Day. But we got to get a video together. So today I thought she was going to show up for this, for senior kitties, right? She is my 10 going on 11-year-old. And I was like, oh, she's going to be in. I got the computer all set up for some Boo Boo Kitty action to be on here. And you know what she did? Peaced out on me. So I moved back into my office, guys. Sorry, I'll try again to get Boo Kitty on here. But what I want to start with is a question here. Because like Christina, she's watching with Gordo. He's 15. And then I think it was Pri that said, Pri said one of her fur babies is about to be 9. So my first question for you is, what's a senior kitty? When does it start to be senior time?
So we start to see physical changes related to aging at as early as 7. So, which is why a lot of your veterinarians probably start doing more diagnostics when your cats are 7 and older, because they're more prone to getting different things. So we want to check and fix that as soon as we can. But most people consider a senior cat 10 to 12, but medically we start to see changes at 7. So I consider a senior cat 7 or older, and that's okay. I consider super seniors 13 and older.
All right. I like super senior better than geriatric. I like that. 13 and older, we get to be super seniors. So looks like Gordo, you're a super senior joining us today. So you said we see physiological changes starting at 7-ish, right? But we know that like cats don't show us anything ever if they can help it, right? So what are some of the things that we're seeing that we really need to make sure we're looking for to see as changes in our senior kitties?
That is an awesome question. So the biggest thing, it's broad, but behavioral changes in general. So like Becky mentioned, cats tend not to be as obvious with some of their signs, whether they're not feeling well or painful, because they're prey and predator animals and they have to kill things, but then they have to worry about being killed. And if I show that I'm limping, I might get killed sooner. I know it's weird, but it's why some of those signs are a little harder for us to find and veterinary professionals to find too. So usually I'm like, look at what your cats do every day. You guys love your cats. You're with them all the time. Does your cat normally cuddle with you at the end of the night as you're decompressing? Did they stop? That's weird. Do your cats greet you at the door like mine? And then they stopped? That's another behavioral change. So are they becoming a finicky eater? I hear a lot of stereotypes about cats, like finicky eating is normal. It's not. Or your senior cat doesn't want to play and that's normal. Guys, when I'm 80, I'm still going to be playing. Okay.
That's right.
I'm just going to be playing different. So I commonly see like my cat's 12, she doesn't play. That's normal. That's not normal. That most likely means there's some underlying pain or medical issues that are going on that we can treat and manage. And then you'll see your kitten-like behavior again. So when it comes to your senior cats, it's really great to know what their normal is, which a lot of you already probably know. And if you notice anything out of the normal, like they're not doing the normal things they do, that's a red flag to be like, what? They used to really love jumping on this cat tree. They haven't been on this cat tree. Or like I said, they're a finicky eater or they're hiding more. All of these are pretty big red flags for us as veterinary professionals to be like, whoa. But sometimes our cat caregivers can be like, that's normal. Those things aren't normal. So definitely keep an eye out on what's your normal in your kitties. And if you're aware of some changes, even if it's something as subtle as they used to greet me and now they don't, that's pretty big. So reach out to your veterinarians and talk about what's going on. And also seeing your veterinarians at least once a year, ideally twice, would be perfect because then we can catch anything that may be going on, manage it and treat it, or even prevent it, which is way better.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's interesting you were mentioning about being 80 and still wanting to like learn, engage, eat, play. We did an Instagram live yesterday, and I think you can still catch it. Maybe it's been 24 hours-ish. I know like they run out, but we did this talking about learning and like old dogs, new tricks, right? And Judy made the point of with cat school, she was like, listen, I want to still learn when I'm 80. And you make the same point. When you're 80, you still want to be fed, you still want to play, you still want to engage. You just might have to modify it. So I think it comes down to expectations. Would you agree? It's like not like our cats, they slow down, but okay, do they? And what are the ways we can maintain their behaviors, continue to give them the enrichment that they need, but modify it for them so that it's supporting their aging needs, not working against them.
That's beautiful the way you said that, supporting their aging needs. So again, guys, I'm 36, which is not that old, I guess. And honestly, my activity is different than it was when I was 25. I can't jump as high. Yeah, I'm working on it. And I have knee problems and all these other things. So I've adjusted my workouts, and we need to do the same thing for senior cats. I call it seniorifying their home or their area. And there's a lot of things that you can do right away, like today, to help just their life be easier. Like, for example, unfortunately, a lot of cats have pain. It's way more common than many people think. And most cats' pain is either not diagnosed. And since it's not diagnosed, it's not treated or managed because those signs are so subtle. So things you can do right away is elevate your cat's food and water bowls so they don't have to do this kind of thing. Giving them night lights near all their resources. And by resources, litter boxes, food, water, scratching surfaces, vertical places, hiding places, woo, woo, woo. because they do have aging changes to their eyes, just like we do as they age. And a nightlight can just help, super easy, help them find where they need to go. That's another thing, having the resources in areas they can easily get to. I'll be honest, I think this is crucial for all ages of cats. But those litter boxes in the basements, you guys, that's not a great thing. It's great to have a litter box on every floor, for sure. But if you have a senior cat that may have some pain, which again, super likely that they do, asking them to go up and down a flight of stairs every time they just have to do a daily function like pee, you guys, that's rough for them. And you might even have a cat that has missed the box, which is really frustrating, but sometimes they just can't get to it. And as they age, they may have some kidney issues or diabetes. And even if you're managing that with your veterinarian, they may not be able to get to that box in time. They have that urgency. They're drinking more, they're peeing more. So we definitely want to be like, where do our cats love to rest? Where are their favorite places? Let's make sure that there's resources there and they don't have to go up 3 floors to pee, because I'm 36 and I don't want to go upstairs to pee sometimes.
No, you're exactly right. And it's a great example, because I know I talked about keeping a litter box and food resources on the second story for losing weight, for keeping cats active, because they've got to go up there, 6-7 times a day. But for our kitties that maybe are slowing down, feeling pain, that's uncomfortable, that you're right. We want to think about how we would want to experience it in that moment. So when we talk about pain and these factors kind of being hidden, changes in behavior are one thing. What are some other things that you see that might be indicators? And what are those tips around seniorifying the space, other things that you see us doing wrong that can accommodate those changes?
So some other common signs, let's say, again, it's a pretty big behavior change, but we see it a lot. I see it a lot as a behavior professional. Your cat is more, I hear the word irritable a lot, or your cat's biting you out of nowhere. I know it appears that way, but they actually are not. They're probably giving us a lot of signs to say, like, for example, if you're petting your cat and they stop to look at your hand, that's a sign that, like, hey, friends, I'm a little conflicted. Can you stop? But most of us don't see that. And then they appear to bite us out of nowhere. And it's really common for cats to do that, because a lot of cats have arthritis in their coxofemoral joint, which is basically their tush, which is why posturing to defecate, getting petted back there, things that you're like, my cat used to love being petted, and you're just watching TV and not paying attention, understandably, loving on your kitty. And then all of a sudden, which your cat's never done before, your cat goes, that's a big sign of, hey, dude, that really hurt.
Yeah.
Let's not do that. Or if your cat is just more irritable in general, like, for example, I have 5 kitties and they're all seniors, because yay.
Yeah.
And my one cat, they all get along really well. And my one cat began hissing at a distance at one of my other cats. Again, hissing can be common. It's just like, sometimes I love my brother, but I'm like, dude, get away from me. That's
Sure.
fine. But my cat, that wasn't her normal, which is why knowing their normals are really important. And we took her to the vet, and she ended up having some pretty underlying severe pain. And that was the sign I noticed first. So I'm sure she would have started showing me some other signs, as far as like you may see, you have a cat perch, and instead of your cat just jumping like this, they maybe stop to think about it.
Yep.
And then jump, or they may find their own way to get up there. So there's a chair right here. I'm going to jump on this and then jump on this. Or some cats just legit stay and stare. Like, they might stare at the stairs because they're like, I really want to go up, but like, dude, it really hurts. And I really have to think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. No. Finish your thought there. I love it.
And ways to help with that, for example, so where your cat's favorite places are, let's seniorify it and make it easier for them to access. So like, we all know about the dog cat stairs, which I'm a huge fan of. I have them by my bed because my cats love the bed, and I actually have it for my senior dog too. So instead of having to do this, they can do this. But when it comes to other vertical spaces, because even senior cats need vertical spaces, but I'm going to make, there's a chair here, and then there's the cat shelf here, and then there's something here. So I'm basically creating steps for them to make it easier for them. So find your cat's favorite resting spots and make sure that you can create a way for them to easily get up there, whether it's cat stairs or literally it could be like, this bookshelf was right here, but I'm going to just plant it here and it's not going to look like cat furniture, but it totally is.
Yes.
To help them get to their favorite places. That would be really helpful, easy tool.
Yeah, and that was exactly what I was going to ask you. Like, right, like how do we modify those spaces? And really, it's just tiny changes, making it a little step easier. Last weekend, we installed a new senior kitty window perch, which is just a little lower off of the ground because we have real big windows that go almost to the ground. And Boo Kitty, my senior kitty, has been perched on that thing since we put it. She's spending a lot more time downstairs with the family because she tends to go upstairs where there's low-level kitty toys, houses, things for her to be in. She wants to be in elevated spaces, but we have to make those accommodations. And so I was experiencing, it's what I wanted to show everyone today, but she didn't learn me. But I use the kitty window hammocks as one of my favorite elevated spaces, and she's really greatly enjoying it. So I love the idea of modifying what we see. Now, we've got this question, and you already kind of alluded to it. What about diet? What about they go picky? How do we handle senior diets? When should they start eating senior diets? What are their nutritional needs?
So senior diets are different. So in every age frame, they need different nutrition. Of course, like a kitten needs different nutrition than a senior cat. And for cats, dry food is actually a lot harder to digest and takes a lot longer to digest for especially senior cats. So we usually like to recommend wet food for kitties, but that doesn't mean to just go up and change their diet, because even positive changes we want to do slow, whether it's adding extra litter boxes or changing their diet. And when it comes to your cat being a picky eater, like, for example, your cat loved this food forever and then they didn't. So we have arthritis being a super common sign of pain. The second most common cause of pain in cats is oral pain. And I can't begin to tell you guys, a lot of people are like, but my cat still eats. By the time your cat is not eating, whoa, you guys, I'm sure Becky has too. We've seen cats with severe dental disease where unfortunately it's so severe, their teeth are literally falling out, which, guys, come on, that's pretty, and they're still eating. So we really need to take it and be like, okay, my cat used to love this diet and doesn't. Has my cat recently had a vet visit? Has my cat got a dental grade, which is a way for us to assess dental disease at their exam from a veterinary standpoint? And what does it look like? Because cats have really rough teeth pain and it could be subtle. You're not going to see a tooth falling out, or you may not even see them dribble, but some cats, they try to eat and they go, and it's just really hard. So as cats age, you'll notice that senior kibble tends to be smaller. And if your cat is having some issues with the senior kibble and you have that dental schedule to address their teeth, what you could do is you can soften their food with a little bit of water if they're usually eating dry food. Because if you have teeth pain, guys, if any of you have had a toothache, eating a carrot versus eating applesauce is going to win. So you can soften up your kitty's food or offer them some wet food as well as heat that food up. Because when you have tooth pain, guys, a lot of it's similar to humans, even though cats are cats and humans are humans. Yeah. You warm that food up for 10 to 15 seconds. I don't have kids, but feel it like you do with baby stuff, right? That's a baby thing. And make sure it's not too hot. And then by warming it up, a lot of cats would happily eat it because it was just so cold and it's sensitive. And then by elevating their food and making it easier for them to have access to, all of those things are tips that I would start with right away.
Okay, so I want to summarize here and just backtrack a little bit. So we've got, because these are all amazing tips, right? We've got one, watching for behavior changes. Even the most subtle of behavior changes are a major concern for all kitties. Remember, they're hiding the majority of their symptoms. So we have to be detectives. 2, accommodate their kitty's space, seniorify. So we want to look where they love to be and make sure that they can access it. And even if they can, make sure it's easy to access, not that they're like putting themselves through it. 3, be conscientious of where all the resources are and how accessible they can be, including at night through things like night lights, right? Then when we come down to nutrition, we're elevating bowls, We're watching to make sure they're still consuming. We're keeping amazing dental health so that we know that there are no oral tooth pain problems. Have I got everything so far?
Yes, you're a pro.
Okay, now I'm taking it, well, to the box. So, senior kitties in the potty box, right? Because we start to see senior kitties missing the potty box, having accidents, and folks just think, oh, she's getting old, she's losing her bladder, they're not making it. Tell me about concerns around the litter box. I'm talking, Pri had a question here, kind of the same, kind of around this. She's got, a good kitty, older kitty, but goes pee-pee in the box, but poo-poo outside of the box. The vet's suggesting fiber, and we are not second-guessing the vet. I'm just using this for an example. When we start to see litter box changes, tell me what you start to think about around that when it comes to senior kitties.
So this is where we touched on, I consider senior cats 7 and older. So to me, if your cat is 7 or older, you should have low entrance litter boxes. Now, when it comes to litter boxes, from a consumer standpoint, it's rough because, guys, the ones they sell in the pet store, which you're doing your correct order to go get, they're way too dang small. So it's really hard. So most litter boxes should be at least large enough, which makes sense, for your cats to turn around in. So the litter boxes they sell in pet stores are more like a porta potty or an airplane bathroom, which you would totally not want to use every day. So by purchasing like a Sterilite container, or you might even be able to see mine if I back away here, because I'm in my office. And guys,
look, it's a special kind of person that has a litter box ready to demo.
So I have right here, it's an under the bed storage container. So where we're storing our sweaters for our winters in Ohio, they're really low, so the cat can easily get into them. And you saw that was really big.
Yeah.
And yes, I have a litter box in my office because, you guys, I'm in here like 8 hours a day, and my cats want to be where I am.
They want to be where I am.
Pieces and scratching surfaces right here, and you see it starts low, and then they can go up. So when it comes to litter boxes, the things I mentioned, I think of first thing when I hear of a cat defecating out of the box. I'm going to be honest, in most to all cases, poop out of the box is a medical issue. Now, by medical, does that mean pain? Yes. So we already kind of touched on cats whose coxofemoral joint, where they posture and walk, they get a lot of arthritis there. So going into a box, jumping into a box, and then posturing to defecate is all really hard. So yeah, it's going to be easier to just poop over here, man. So that's why we love these low entrance boxes. You can get an under the bed container or like an 18-gallon storage container and cut it really low. So your cat, instead of having to do this, it would be like me doing a headstand when I have to pee. That's not going to happen. They could just walk in like this and make sure those boxes are, we kind of touched on this already, but easily accessible. So that means not in a corner in a closet, but out in the open. So again, my office looks normal, but I have a litter box right there, and my cats can happily use it. It's easy to access. And I have one in my living room. I have them throughout my house, because as your cat ages, it's harder for them to get to places. So I would add a low entrance seniorified litter box for your kitty, and I would add it to the place that you most likely hang out in, because that's probably where your cat most likely hangs out in.
Yeah, I mean, and that's one of the number one go-tos, right, for litter box issues. They want to be with you. We understand that. We don't necessarily want to be with their litter box, but hey, we chose for them to live with us, right? Tabitha, I think we ought to start diving into some of these amazing questions that are pouring in. Are you ready? We're going to rapid fire. So we're going to dive into a couple different things here. So Kristen's asking about expanded anesthesia protocols for senior cats. And I'm glad she brought this up, because I think this is around, and there's another question we're going to bring in here where we talk about dental health. And when we talk about dental health for cats, it's funny, you were saying how cats will have really, really bad teeth before they stop eating. Benita Altier, who I believe, she's another veterinary technician in the dental space, once said to me, listen, she did a podcast with me, and she said, listen, cats will only stop eating when they would rather die than eat. So I thought, wow, what a really powerful way of saying that. Like, if I'm not eating, I would rather die than even try, because not eating is dying for something that eats 6 times a day, right? So people start to get worried about dental health and anesthesia when it comes to senior kitties and keeping things healthy. So can we talk a little bit about that fear? I love to say age is not a diagnosis. How do we help our clients feel comfortable around anesthesia and dental health?
That's a great question. So I scream this from the rooftops: age is not a disease or a diagnosis, because a lot of times I'll hear something like, my cat's 12, so I'm not going to do anesthesia, or I'm conflicted and unsure. And similar to if you're 80 and need something, you get it done, because that oral pain is pretty severe. So when it comes to anesthetic protocols, when it comes to your senior kitty, there's a lot of things that we do in vet medicine to verify the safest anesthesia for your kitty. Of course, I'm not going to lie, there's always a risk with anesthesia, but that's why we do all of these lovely things. So one of the things, most of the veterinary clinics I work with, we do prior to anesthesia. So prior to the day they're going to go under the anesthesia and be intubated, we do blood work. And we also do an EKG, which is just something that lets us look at their heart and see how it's beating and if there are any abnormalities. And then the blood work helps us see how are their internal organs functioning. Because guys, the kidneys aren't like, what's up, guys? This is how I feel today. So we need to look at their blood work to see how everything's doing, because even if we notice some changes on the blood work or an EKG, there's a lot of different pre-medications and anesthesia protocols that we use, but we're going to make those specific to your cat now that we have that information. So blood work and pre-surgical EKGs are ideal prior to surgery. And then on surgery day, along with having safe protocols based on your individual cat's needs, because every cat's individual, we're going to have a registered veterinary technician monitoring your kitty's anesthesia, which means I'm going to be monitoring your cat's heart rate, blood pressure, temperature, all those fun things at minimum every 3 to 5 minutes. But I'm also there with the cat while there's another registered veterinary technician cleaning the teeth, or the veterinarian taking out the teeth if needed. So there's always someone monitoring all of your cat's vitals. And if something does happen, we're there to help and fix it. And then also we place something called an IV catheter in their veins, so we can have easy access. If we, again, emergencies aren't common, but we need to be prepared. That's the safety of anesthesia. So if we do need to give something, we have IV access right there immediately. And then also your cat's getting IV fluids throughout the procedure to maintain their blood pressure and keep them hydrated. And then when it comes to recovery, again, a registered veterinary technician is with that cat the entire time until they're spitting out that tube. They're like, I'm awake, I'm awake, I'm awake. And then we're still with the kitty, monitoring them throughout that recovery. So I know it can be really scary to think about anesthesia, but if you're unsure, talk to your vet about it and tell them that you're conflicted. And I know Becky probably does too. When I'm working with a client, we go through the treatment plan together. I discuss all of the pre-anesthetic blood work. I discuss the results. I discuss how we're going to do everything we can to keep everything safe and how much better your cat is going to feel. I have had so many cats whose clients, we recommended the dental because we saw a dental disease on their exam. And then after the dental, these clients were amazing, but they're like, my cat's like a kitten again. And that's because their cat's mouth hurts so bad. And chronic pain, guys, it just makes it really hard.
The worst, right? No matter who you are. So Lisa, was asking kind of just about dental health, and we know that brushing cat's teeth is maybe not the easiest thing. And I regularly tell my clients that dental prophylaxis at least once a year. And I love the sealants that are used as well. Do you have anything else you love for senior kitties and dental health? Are there chews, toys? Do you have any other advice I don't know about?
So I actually do brush my kitty's teeth.
I'm sure you do.
To be fair, I'm also a cat trainer. So I get that I have a little bit of a head on people. I do like teeth brushing for your kitty. Now, just like anything, we have to train them to happily accept the toothbrush. I can't just be like, here's this really scary thing. I'm going to put it in your mouth. Whoa, you guys probably have tried that and that has not worked well. So there's a lot of steps that we can do to make teeth brushing a little easier. And the thing with teeth brushing, if it's something that you only could do once every 2 weeks, that's not really, I'm going to be honest with you, that's not really helpful. If we're going to brush our cat's teeth, which is a helpful thing, and work up towards training them how to do that, how to happily enjoy that, we need to brush our cat's teeth at minimum once a day to once every other day for it to actually have an effect. And I'm actually working on some videos because, as you guys probably do too, I have some extra time. So I will hopefully have some teeth brushing videos out soon, so you can see the steps that are involved with that, because every cat's an individual and we break it down into steps by, like, for example, first I use something like squeeze cheese, which is good in small amounts, and I just have them eat it off my finger, and then I might just hold back their mouth and have them eat some of the treat, and then I start to brush their teeth with the cheese. Then I start to add a toothbrush, which usually I use a finger brush. So there are ways, you'd be surprised, that can help cats happily accept.
Oh yeah,
thing for sure.
Absolutely, we are looking forward to those videos, because that is not something I do in my everyday. I am not going to lie to you guys.
And that's okay. The dental, again, if you can't, like Becky said, dental care, and there are dental treats. There's the dental greenies, but it's hard because you guys probably know this. Cats don't really chew; they kind of just eat. So there's a few dental prescription diets, and the dental diets tend to be a lot bigger, so the cat actually has to chew them. But as far as dental treats, it's hard because cats don't tend to chew them to that extent.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, so let's jump in a little bit here with some other questions. Kristen was asking about arthritis. And of course, as veterinary technicians, we don't diagnose, we don't prescribe. So obviously, Kristen, this is something you want to work with your veterinarian. But what I want to ask you, Tabitha, is when your clients are asking you about things like supplements or maybe even conjunctive therapies, things like acupuncture, massage, what do you like to recommend to a client's cat who has been legally diagnosed by their veterinarian with a standing VCPR? How do you like to support them in a wonderful treatment plan if they do have arthritis in the most legal way?
So I actually work with a lot of veterinarians, which I'm sure you're not surprised, in helping to manage and treat arthritis, because I see a lot of behavioral issues that are caused or contributed to pain. So we work together. It's this beautiful relationship. And along with pain medications, which you can talk to your veterinarian about, when it comes to pain management, I don't care what species we're talking about, it needs to be multimodal, which means more than one thing. So like Becky said, they'll help you address with the medications, because every cat is different. Your cat's blood work, all that fun stuff you could talk to your vet about. But things you can do to also help, in addition to, is, of course, seniorifying your house. Let's make things comfortable, because we know our cat's uncomfortable. Let's make things easier. Also, I love heated cat beds. If you don't have them, oh my God, well, your cats love you forever. Cats run warm already, and when cats are painful, they seek heat. So heated cat beds, another wonderful way to seniorify your house and make it more comfortable. And then some other treatments. I am a big fan of glucosamine or Cosequin supplements. Cosequin is one that I really like. It comes in a capsule or a chew. The chews tend to be fairly palatable, and you can definitely train your cat to happily accept meds. But I know most people's cats don't love meds right away. So Cosequin chews is something that could be helpful in addition to the pain medications. And then, like Becky mentioned, I'm a huge fan of utilizing other therapies like acupuncture and laser therapy. So finding a rehab specialist, or your vet may not be a rehabber, but be familiar with these things, talk to them about that. And then I'm also a really big fan of the CC loop, which is a type of laser therapy that you can do in your home that is prescribed by your veterinarian. I refer it to my clients all the time as an additional treatment. And I'm actually doing on three of my senior animals right now. And I'm surprised. I was expecting subtle changes, and I've noticed pretty big ones. So when it comes to your cat's pain, realize it's going to take more than one thing. And when it comes to your vet, work with your vet to know what pain looks like and assess and reassess what that looks like. Because a lot of people are like, my cat started on pain meds, he's fine. Guys, that aspirin for you, because we never give that to a cat, might not work for your headaches, but it used to. So it's really important when it comes to having pain meds for your cat to assess and reassess and reassess. Because I so commonly see cats just get pain meds and then that's it.
Yeah, it's the same reason we have follow-ups with our own doctors, right? The same reason we go back every couple weeks to make sure it's working, and that it's working not just for your cat, but also for you. Because what we know is if you have a protocol with your veterinarian that does not work in your life, it's not going to happen, and then we have non-compliance. So you really have to have that, right? I got busy because look, I literally have. Did you see how far I had to reach for this? This is the brochure for the FCC loop, okay? It was literally this far. You can rewind the video because I love that company. They're amazing, and that is it's such a great product. I also am going to brag Boo Boo Kitty's new bed that I told you about. It is heated. As soon as she lays on it, nice and warm, she lays there for hours. So just a little self-brag there. I see them with the heated and the non-heated, and they're always going to the heated bed. They absolutely adore it. Those are perfect answers. Tabitha, we're so lucky to have you here today. I want to make sure people can find you. So I'm going to run this back up on the screen. They can find you at Chirps and Chatter.
Yes.
And then, because we're all in the social world, they can find you on Instagram and Facebook at Chirps and Chatter. Is that right? Is there any other resources that you want to send?
I keep everything pretty up to date on my Facebook and Instagram. You'll see I have tons of videos about medication training and things that you're like, my cat will never like that. Yes, they will. I promise. As well as seniorifying and doing lots of other tips for your kitties. And I am working on a YouTube channel. I am working on gathering videos. It is a process. So I should have those out soon too.
Gail wants you to do one on nail trims for her recently adopted 12-year-old kitty. You have a special request. Gail's picture there just appears to be a pile of orange tabby babies, and I'm like, I need to know a lot more about what's going on in that picture, and I want to lay right down in the middle of it right there. So you guys can find Tabitha on Chirps and Chatter. You guys can find me now due to your demand to see me more, I guess. We are at Coach Becky on Instagram now. So you can see pictures of my cat, because that's pretty much all I'm giving you over there at the moment, because hey, that's what we want, right? Now, this is the fun part. It's all been fun. Sorry, don't let me say it isn't. But this is giveaway time. Are you in it with me?
Ooh, exciting! Yay!
Okay, so we're doing Basepaws Challenge. Basepaws Challenge on a weekly basis. We are learning all about the fun things we can do as cat owners, how to keep our cats healthy and happy forever. It's tied into my coaching over at Coach My Cat. If you haven't checked it out, go over to Basepaws and check out Basepaws /coach-my-cat. And I am having a ball coaching cats over there. But in the meantime, we are running these challenges, and this week's winner is, okay, I'm going to do a screen share. There's nothing more stressful on live internet.
When you did it.
Theoretically Teddy. So we asked them to Google something. Tell us the last thing they Googled about their cat and what the answer was. So we could learn all of the cool things that people are looking up, as well as the answer. And in this case, theoretically Teddy Googled the last thing I Googled about cats. The tulips are toxic, and yes, they are. He was trying to eat these tulips, and luckily I didn't let him take a bite before Googling it. So great job, Mom. We are so glad you did that. Oh, I have another one too, but that's not it. Where are you at? Theoretically, Teddy? That's definitely not it. Oh, it's getting worse. There he is. Sorry, guys. We got to see every last picture I've taken forever. Fun fact about tabbies, 60 to 70% of them of all of the tabbies have that pattern, but there are many variations, colors, patterns, and mixtures, even with white. So this question for Basepaws Challenge, theoretically, Teddy got in, was we had National Tabby Cat the other day, I'm sure you know, and we wanted to learn more about tabbies. So you guys have been so fun. You are my Wednesday enjoyment that brings sunshine into my life, and Tabitha, you bring sunshine into my life every time I see you. So I'm giving you a big social distancing hug. I'm taking a rain check on avocado toast with you again. And you guys, I want to see you back here. Make sure you are checking out Basepaws Challenge. Go over to Instagram, give a shout out and a follow and a congratulations to Theoretically Teddy. And make sure you're checking out our Instagram and our Facebook for next week's challenge. Videos will go up. I'll be recording them shortly. We'll get you through the next week, and then we'll see you back here next week, same time. And we'll be having more great conversations next week. We're actually talking to Steve Dale.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We'll see you guys soon. Tabitha, we'll see you soon. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.